All right, y'all. Scientists then found some green glass inside the Sahara desert that only could have been created through enormous, massive heat that happened there. For instance, the only way it could have been created is within an explosion or an asteroid or a meteorite or something of that nature, right? But the problem with that is that this site is ancient. There's no way that ancient people 50, 40,000 years ago could have had technology that was like ours as far as atomic and nuclear weapons. Because the only time that they've seen this happen in the desert is when they test the nukes in the desert and it explodes and it turns the sand into glass. So they saying that this looks exactly how it does when they test out nuclear weapons. For those of y'all who think, because I was thinking the same thing, I was like, man, this had to have been a meteor or it had to have been an asteroid. It had to have been something of that nature, because there ain't no way in hell you're going to get me to believe that people 50,000 years ago had the technology that we have today to blow shit up, to have nukes, to have nuclear weapons per se. But this is why they say that it's not a meteor. Check it out.
Sounds logical, right? However, there are major problems with this theory. The most obvious question, where is the crater? Such powerful impacts usually leave behind huge craters that remain visible for thousands of years. Look at Meteor Crater in Arizona. It's 50,000 years old, yet it's still clearly visible today. But in the Sahara, no such crater has ever been found. Just a vast, flat desert. No signs of an impact. The second issue is the distribution of the glass itself. When a meteorite strikes, fragments of molten rock should be scattered around the impact site, like ripples from a stone dropped in water. But in the Libyan desert, the glass is evenly spread out, as if someone carefully scattered it across the landscape. This is not what we would expect from a meteorite impact. This means that the heat source was not a single localized impact, like a cosmic collision. Instead, the heat spread over a vast area. And this happens when there is a massive explosion that superheats the entire surface at once. Ancient civilization.
Now there you have it. You know what I'm saying? So, they saying if a meteor had actually hit, we would see the impact, the crater of the meteor. Like you see the moon, it got craters. Anywhere an asteroid or a meteor hits, it's going to be an indentation. It's going to be a meteor there. They have meteors in the same desert that they dated 50,000 years old and older inside of the desert, where they found this glass with no crater. They saying the only way that could happen is it had to been in some type of other explosion. If it wasn't a meteor or an asteroid or something that came from from space, from the sky, that hit the desert, that was hot, that turned the sand to glass. So what was it then? If there's no evidence of something like that hitting, what was it? You know what I mean? They're saying that this is evidence of technology in ancient times. This is not what the scientists have proven. This is just what is being said because the scientists cannot prove that it wasn't from technology. And the scientists know that it wasn't from a crater and it wasn't from an asteroid, or it wasn't from something out of space that hit, because it would be evidence of that. So I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think it was. Was it technology back in the day? Like we just, thinking we coming up with all this stuff, but actually they already had known all this stuff, and maybe the flood or something happened and erased some lost knowledge, and now we just now figuring things back out? Or was it just an asteroid or a crater? I mean, a meteorite or something like that, to where it happened so long ago that they can't see the crater no more, which I don't think that's a plausible reason why that glass is green, because there would be a crater. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I'm Robbie Maurice, Hood Topic TV, signing out. Peace.